Okay, this is a short lesson on how to solve by factoring. Okay, now solving a quadratic means to find the x-intercepts, also known as the roots, also known as the zeros. Okay, so that's what I'm finding, is those x-intercepts. Those x-intercepts of y value is 0. So if I take a quadratic, I want to make my y value equal 0. Y is going to be equal to 0. Now this quadratic has already been factored for me, so that's nice. I already have it in factored form. So all I have to do is take each one of these factors and make them separately equal to 0. Because if just one of them equals 0, then the whole thing is going to multiply to 0, and that's what I'm looking for. So take each one of my factors, make them equal to 0, and so rearrange, get x by itself. I want to add 4 to both sides, so I'm going to get x equals to positive 4. Take this one, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides, so I got 2x equals negative 5. X is going to equal negative 5 over 2. These two values are my x-intercepts to the quadratic. It should be also known that either one of these values, if I put them back into the original equation, I'll get the entire thing going to 0. If I put 4 into this equation, 4 minus 4 is 0. Then 0 times whatever this is still going to give me 0 for the entire thing. Same as with the x equals negative 5 over 2. If I put that into the equation, back into the original equation, I will get 0 for this part here, which will make the whole thing go to 0. These two are my x-intercepts. Take another equation. This one is not in factored form, so the first thing I should do is factor it. Y equals, I have a simple trinomial, so I need two numbers that multiply to the last value and add to the middle value. So I multiply to 10 and add to 7. That is 5 and 2. So I can write out x plus 5, x plus 2. There it's in factored form. Now I said I want to make my y value equal to 0 because that is what I'm trying to find, the x-intercepts. 0 equals x plus 5 and x plus 2. Take each one of my factors now and make them separately equal to 0. Subtract 5 from both sides for this one to get x by itself. X equals negative 5. Subtract 2 from both sides on this one. X is going to equal negative 2. And there are my two x-intercepts. Third question. Okay? Again, I need to factor this. Now the type of factoring I'm going to use is common factoring. I can common factor out a 2x, and I'm left with, dividing both terms by 2x, I'm left with 3x minus 2. Make my y value equal to 0. Take each one of my factors and make them separately equal to 0. And now solve each equation. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. 0 divided by 2, still 0. There's one x-intercept. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Divide both sides by 3. There's my other x-intercept. And lastly, I have an equation that is not equal to 0 right away. It's actually equal to negative 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange and make it equal to 0. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So I'll get 6x squared plus 7x plus 1 equals 0. I added 1 to both sides. Now it's equal to 0. And now I can factor this. This is a complex trinomial. So I need two numbers that multiply to 6 and add to 7. Multiply to the first and the last number multiplied together. So multiply to 6, adds to 7. Okay, that'd be 6 and 1. Split my middle term up. So 6x squared plus 6x plus 1x plus 1 equals 0. I can common factor out a 6 for x for the middle, or the first two terms. I'll get x plus 1. I can take out a 1 from the last two terms, and I'll get an x plus 1. X plus 1 is the same, binomial common factor. X plus 1, put it in front, and then I have my leftover 6x plus 1 for my second set of brackets. There are my two factors, and again, now I'm going to make my two factors equal to 0 and do it separately. Solve each equation, subtract 1 from both sides on this one, equals negative 1. Subtract 1 from both sides here, I get 6x equals negative 1. Divide both sides by 6, and I have my two x-intercepts. So this is a short lesson on how to solve a quadratic by factoring. When I say solve, I'm trying to find the x-intercepts, which are also known as the roots and zeros. And I do so by making my y value equal to 0, factor, and then take each one of my factors and make them equal to 0 separately and solve. Thank you very much.